Welcome to That's My Biz, featuring two fly moms who are about their biz. Join me, Pamela, and my homegirl Ginger as we share the crazy ins and outs of juggling life, motherhood, relationships, entrepreneurship, and all that in between. Make sure to check in with us every Tuesday for a new episode and follow on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a beat.
Peace and blessings, y'all. I'm Courtney, and welcome to Multidimensional Soul Podcast. I hope everyone had an amazing weekend and have set intentions for an amazing week as well. Today's episode has been on my spirit for about the last 2 weeks, and I was like, you know what? Instead of making like a little Facebook post and just being like, hey, gentle reminder, I'm going to record a podcast episode and make a Facebook post because it's worthy. I want people to be weary of people that don't believe in karma, or not even so much the people that don't believe in karma, but the people that know that it's a thing, acknowledge it, but still move in ways that they know are going to bring them bad karma because they already have a lot of karma to get back anyway. That is so scary to me, the carelessness of it, especially when you know karma doesn't affect you the same way, or let me say, karma doesn't come back the same way that you dished it out. Majority of the time, karma is going to attack whatever it is you love the most. So if you're a very money hungry person, baby, karma gonna be all up and through your finances, and maybe you ain't gonna be able to save or do the things that you would like to do because financially you don't have the means. And that's an easy example because people be about their coins, period. I also say that it's scary because for someone to acknowledge it and know that it is real and still move in ways to add to the bad karma that they're already going to get or feel like they already owed, how or why don't you care about yourself enough to just move differently, to not do the things that you're doing to get the bad karma? I know it's easier said than done to just be a good person, to be mindful of everything you do so that you can cultivate a life of only good karma. And I know this because I used to be a shitty person. I didn't have compassion for anyone, and most times I was very revengeful. If you do something to me, I was going to plot and I was going to do something back to you. And I used to always joke and be like, I ain't waiting for karma to come back and get you because it could take years. I'm finna just be karma. Y'all, whenever that karmic energy returned to me, baby, I was floored. I didn't even think that I understood the way that life could drag me or how low shit could really go. It was the most mind-blowing thing ever, but subconsciously I knew. And even when I was going through it, I just would always say to myself, whenever you've paid your debt, you're going to walk away from this situation and immediately shit going to be better. And it sounds crazy now. And even when I was going through it and I would be saying that thought would come into my mind. And most of the time it would come into my mind whenever I would be looking in the mirror. I would be like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what are you even saying? Like, I'm in the trenches now. What you mean whenever my debt is paid? I didn't get it. But it literally happened just like that. Okay, I'm done. I've paid my debt, and literally within like a week or two, I got a promotion, a pay raise, a new car. It literally happened just like that. All the things that I had been working for all this time that I could not obtain, and shit that I was dealing with that just kept happening back to back. Like, talking about something beating you while you down, karma was holding my ass down, and it was other motherfuckers stomping me. Like, it was literally like that. And when I walked out of that situation, I was like, oh, baby, I am going to do my damnness to make sure I'm creating a life of good karma. I have to cultivate this shit. I cannot, in my mind, like, I don't know that I would have been able to withstand anything remotely close to what I had went through for that last year and a half. Like, it was insane. And immediately shadow work started. That was the first place I had to start, because shadow work is with yourself. I had to take a look at myself, my choices, my decisions, and who I was, and tell those ugly truths. Like, girl, you be manipulating, you be dragging people. Like, what do you do and what can you change so that you can really start cultivating a life of the good shit, of good karma? Because all the changes start with you. And it was seriously me being like, okay, when I see a situation in which I can manipulate someone or use someone, I'm going to lay off that. Like, I'm going to make a conscious decision every single day to not be that person, to appear to be someone's savior and then drag their ass. Like, I am going to do my best to not be that person. And it literally just started with me making a list of things that I wanted to change, that I felt like would help me really become a better person, to do the 180 from shitty person to, damn, Courtney, you're a really good person. And to just stop playing with shit anytime it was like, no, because I don't know how that's going to look or how it's going to feel being put into the universe. And so if I don't know how it's going to feel being put out, that means I don't know what it's going to look like when I get it back. And I got to be cognizant of that. I just can't ignore it and act like it does not exist. And I feel like the people that do navigate in that way, or the people that are like, girl, I got so much karma to get back, it'll be all right, I don't really feel like you can trust them, because they don't value themselves enough to value you, whether it be a friend, a coworker, like anything. They don't value themselves enough in the actions that they are taking and what they're putting in the universe enough to be loyal or trustworthy or even honest with you. I just feel like, for me, it's only right to look at those people with a side eye. Like, honey girl, if you don't care about what is coming to you, you damn sure ain't gonna care about what's coming to me. And if at any point you have a chance to throw me under the bus or do some real shady shit to me, I feel like you would take it because you don't give a fuck. And I'm a person that don't be giving a fuck about a lot, but then there's a certain cap on how much you can't just give a fuck now, because I can't give that much, or I can't not give that much of a fuck the way I'm gonna be like, yeah, I know I got some shit to get back. I ain't worried about it. Listen, you have to be there in the karma trenches, getting your karmic energy tenfold to understand what it's like to be like, yo, I'm cool on all this. But I also think it takes a certain amount of self-awareness and acknowledgement to even be like, you know what? I did do some fucked up shit. Or I definitely handled that situation in a real shady manner, and that could potentially come back to me. Especially for people with children, because you know that sometimes your karma don't even come back to you. It could come back tenfold in your children in a roundabout way. And maybe that's just me. Maybe some people are going to be like, oh, I think you're thinking too much into it, or whatever you say. I just know this is what helps me sleep at night, honestly, is to know like I did right. Like I didn't do no shady shit. I didn't do no foul shit. Whatever I did, it was authentic. It was what I truly wanted to do, and I can stand on it. And I don't have to be made to stand on some shady shit. The integrity, honestly, of it all for me, because I feel like people that aren't aware or don't have any regard for karma typically aren't people that are integral. We've seen multiple instances where it seems like the ancient people be winning, where you know someone has been moving shady, doing some shiesty shit, and it still appears that they are winning. And I say appears because you really don't know what a person is battling outside of what you can see in whatever scope of time you can see it. And I feel like so many people that navigate with no regard to karma always use that as an excuse. Well, so-and-so was be doing the same shit and they living like they popping. Honey, you don't even really know that to be true for so-and-so. Just be mindful. Cultivating a life of good and being a good person is extremely important. It don't matter what shit looks like. Remember, people cap, and people cap hard. And people only share the good shit. A motherfucker ain't gonna share the Well, some people will, but for the most part, people are not going to share what isn't glamorous, what doesn't seem to be good. So you really don't know what people are battling or what areas of their life that karma is really attacking. So just be mindful. Karma is real. Try to be in a space where you pay attention to it, where you're being mindful of what you're putting out instead of just being okay with the bad shit coming whenever it comes. This week's plant of the week is a Philodendron Mican. The leaves are heart-shaped, but they are of a velvet texture. They're greenish bronze with reddish pinkish undersides. These are very viney plants, so they trail beautifully. Micans prefer bright, indirect light. They only require fertilization monthly in the spring and in the summer. For watering, I highly suggest having a water meter. That way you can measure this. The meter will let you know when it's dry and when you should water. Having a water meter has actually saved my life because I was a habitual over waterer to my plants. Micans are popping right now, so if you find one, it may be a little on the pricey side. I was fortunate enough to get a cutting from a friend. Shout out to Pamela Renee. And my mican has been living in water and growing beautifully until it is ready to go to soil. If you come across a Philodendron Mican, even if you decide not to buy it, DM me because I am still looking for a basket. It's still March, y'all, and the plant of the month is amethyst, and I wanted to share with you 2 ways that I utilize amethyst. I sleep with amethyst under my pillow, and I keep amethyst in my car, in the glove compartment or the center console. I keep it under my pillow to purify my mind and clear negative thoughts. I used to have night terrors at least 3 to 4 times a week. I occasionally still have them, but it's few and far in between, and I've noticed a great difference since sleeping with amethyst under my pillow. Keeping it in my car, in the glove box, or in the center console just fosters safe travels. I haven't been in an accident or gotten a ticket in quite a while, and I am very gracious for that. I am also a safe driver, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, if you put amethyst in your car, you're not going to get in a wreck. If you drive crazy, it will still happen, but it does help. That is it for this week's episode. Don't forget to DM me on Instagram at peaceloveplants, 2 S's, or peacelovelocks with 2 S's with any questions or comments. And if you share the podcast on any social media platform, don't forget to tag me. Episodes drop every Monday wherever you podcast. Thank you all for listening. Love and light.